Why? Presented by Quick Trip's Quality Gasoline Guarantee. It's just another way Quick Trip has you covered.
All right, 9 to noon, ready to go. Armin, Kuhn, on board with ourselves. Butchie, myself, Josh. Good morning, boys. How we doing?
As good as we can do, right? I mean, end of the week, maybe a little bit tired from the week and everything that's maybe you say just a little bit tired.
I cheated my sleep again last night. Please remind me, never cheat your sleep. How do you do it?
How'd you cheat your sleep, by the way?
Well, because I was up until darn near midnight because I had friends in town that are playing golf with me and some of the other Wisconsin Mafia Goombas, golf Mafia Goombas. And so, they're like, oh, well, you want to stay here? And, we're going to go have a drink and da-da-da. And they're at the airport and help picking them up. I didn't have to do any of this.
No. And when I got the text at 11:30, they were like, what are you doing up? And I was like, well, what am I doing?
What are you doing up? Right. Butchie was up as late as me.
Yeah, when Zay sent me the text at 11:30, I go, what is he texting me for? And then I was like, hold up. What am I reading this for? Like, why am I up? This is a problem.
Well, I read the text about how counsel said the relievers were filthy last night. I loved it. I had to clip it and send it over to Butchie.
Best part is imagining counsel saying filthy. I don't know why it's funny to me. It
I
just
know.
is. Oh, yeah, they were filthy.
The law firm of Milner, Elvis Piampson, the airbender, closing them out yesterday.
Even the other guys, Uribe came in to throw 102 the other night.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I'd call these guys. I told Jeff Levering, I don't know if you heard Butch the other day when John and I were talking. I called this guys the torture chamber. That's my new name for this bullpen group, the torture chamber.
It's no De La Cruz, but that's fine. It's no De La Cruz.
Well, no, De La Cruz. In fact, I was going to buy his jersey for you, Butch, for on Notre Dame when they come to town at our stadium, right, Butch? Is that what you want?
You don't buy jerseys.
That's what he wants.
You don't buy jerseys for other teams. You don't do it, Armin.
I will.
Then you know what? I want you to rock the Justin Jefferson jersey at Lambeau.
If you ever see me in a Viking jersey, I want you to get me help because something's wrong.
Thing.
I've been drugged. I've been tranquilized. I've been kidnapped. Someone put a rubber mask over themselves to make them think. If any of you guys ever see me in a Viking jersey, there is no situation in which I will wear a Viking jersey except to save a life. And I don't know how that would ever happen, so I ain't going to wear it. Bottom line, if you guys ever, that's funny you bring that up, Butch, because I want you to know it. I wanted to say unequivocally, I will never, ever put one of those on.
But you would to save a life.
Sure, yes. I'll do it to save a life.
A Packer fan in Packer gear is being held hostage by a bunch of rabid Viking fans at a safe house.
Ooh.
And to infiltrate, you had to wear Vikings gear.
Yeah.
To save the other Packer fan?
To save the other Packer fan.
Oh, yeah.
Taking five.
Then I would.
You'd have to go undercover.
Armin goes in. So under that situation, what Viking jersey would you painfully slip on?
Brett Favre,
of course.
Clearly.
I don't know about that. That's the one that hurt me the most.
Ooh.
Wouldn't you want to escape suspicion?
More than Randy Moss.
It's probably somebody I really can respect, like Alan Page or somebody.
Brett Favre hurt you more than Randy Moss.
Well, because Brett was a Packer and he left to go to us. It was easy to just not like Randy Moss.
What about Greg Jennings?
I don't care. Come on. I mean, come
whatever.
on. Longwell, the kicker, man.
I said Longwell.
I missed it. I'm sorry,
Anthony Barr.
Anthony Barr injured Aaron Rodgers and then they used it on highlight packages for years to come.
Most painful Viking jersey if you had to be forced to wear one, either to go on a covert mission to save a Packer fan who's being held hostage.
This is good.
Or just to lose a bet. Which one would make you vomit the most?
I want to hear what Josh.
Josh, I'd like to hear this.
Man, I don't.
Chris Hovan.
I don't know that there's one that
with his stupid face paint.
I hated him.
But Barr. I hate Barr.
Hate Barr.
I hate Anthony Barr. I hate that it was celebrated. When I think about him, I think about just a total hatred of the team. Like not even just a hatred for the player.
We were 6-1 when we woke up for that game, if I remember right.
Unfortunately, I would have to. I actually really like Anthony Barr. I liked him as a player. I liked him as a person. But unfortunately, that singular hit has completely changed the NFL. The burping, roughing the passer call that came to the NFL since it's completely changed the game to the point of insanity now.
Yeah.
Insanity to you almost can't stand it. And it was that singular play that has changed the whole thing.
Yeah.
One random play One random play. All the big hits of all the games. One random play.
What embarrasses me the most is, as a kid, just loved getting different NFL and NBA jerseys. So I wanted to get a bunch of different teams. So I acquired any team I could at any. This
Really?
is Armin at even like 10, 11 years old.
You acquired even blood rivals in the division?
I had a Warren Moon jersey, a Viking jersey, because I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool.
Wow.
That is so
To-
weird.
to have
another layer of the mysteries of Armin Sarian peeled off.
It was
like
an
a nugget.
embarrassing moment in my personal history to have that.
How old are we talking?
10 years old, 10, 11. So this is the height of the
That's-
Packers.
Yeah.
But
not good.
and Packer jerseys were the only ones I really. Packers the only team I cared about. I wasn't cheering for these teams,
This
but I
is-
thought it'd be cool to have a jersey of every team. You know,
Was
type of
this
thing.
the curse of the Sears catalog? That as a kid, you'd see the Sears catalog that had all the different teams, and you're like, ooh, I want one of those.
More like East Bay.
more East Bay? But to be
East
honest,
Bay.
going to Coles when you were a kid.
Hey, is East Bay still a thing, Coon?
No,
No.
remember when it got
Died.
Remember when it closed?
We had
Did
a
you love
we
East
had
Bay?
we had a funeral for it on 9 to noon.
Oh, you did. Did you love East Bay growing up?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Guys
That was
like-
the
It
greatest.
was like the printed internet before the internet.
Oh.
Mhm.
yeah.
The internet of shoes and gear.
It was Amazon for athletes or
Yes.
wannabe athletes before the internet.
And they had the sizes that Butch could fit into.
The best part was the East Bay warehouse sale they had.
Up in
Uh,
not Lacrosse. Where was it, Butch?
Wapaka. Not
It was in
Wapaka.
Wausau.
I'm sorry, Wausau. Wrong W state.
Butch had a great story about how him and his buddies
Oh,
would
yeah.
pack up the car and
We
go.
would. And we got 4 dudes. He packed up his little car, and I'm telling you, by the time we walked out of the warehouse sale, there was no room for any of it. Like we were just looking over boxes, that shoe boxes everywhere. But I mean, you were getting shoes for $5-10. Like
So like Badger football
Nikes.
players. Oh.
Oh.
We're still doing that. How long ago was that
I was
scandal?
gonna say, what are you doing? Hey, you can't be taking shots at my team. My team.
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
a Marquette, but I don't bring that up anymore.
That's true. That's a good point.
What was it?
Because even I know.
You're right.
When you look back at that quote unquote scandal, it was like what they were getting coupons or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were
Yeah,
getting
it was
free
it was
shoes.
it was one of the weakest
They
scandals ever.
were taking in used shoes and getting new shoes. Big deal. You got
Hey.
Northwestern doing all this other stuff.
I
that's coming
know.
out.
Well,
and you're
now
gonna do that? Like what in the world?
No, these
Now-
days we don't care about
now
that.
every scandal in retrospect looks quaint by comparison.
That's what I meant.
It's
Right.
so
Ohio State
dumb.
players trading jerseys for tattoos, and
Yeah.
that ran Jim Tressel out of town. You're like, okay,
They put like a cover. I remember they put Jim Tress on the cover of SI, and he had like it was a
Yes.
grainy picture of him, like he was some criminal or something.
right?
Why? Because he let his guy sell.
What is the
jerseys.
pettiest college scandal? The pettiest.
Oh, I have an answer. Go ahead, guys. First, I have an answer.
I don't know. Go ahead, Armin. Let
One-
me jog my memory.
I was reading Rick Majerus's book, and he said that him and Hank Raymonds, when they were at Marquette in the 80s, had a recruit on campus, and they bought him a hot dog outside the window, and they had to self-report a hot dog at the Union. They bought a recruit a hot dog, and they had to self-report the $3 hot dog.
Oh yeah, we don't hear about the self-report. There's a lot of those that there's some big ones that have happened, but like there's a lot of those self-reports. Like, oh shoot, we shouldn't have done this. That's a great point on.
Does that count though? Because that's not. Is that a
So
scandal?
if you hold on, if you tell
Sure.
no, but it might be because if you tell on yourself, do you still get in trouble? Do you get like what? I'm serious about this, Butchie. The self-reporting. If you tell on yourself, do you still get in trouble? Because
Oh yeah, there's violations that go against you. They get
Yes.
like you're like getting written up like at
so
work. If you do
$3
something, get written
hot
up.
dog self-report, still get a violation, still get in trouble. That's got to
Yeah.
still be considered a scandal.
In the aftermath of the Len Bias tragedy at Maryland, Bob Wade, who followed Lefty Driesell, he gave a ride to Rudy Archer, a ride. Gave him a ride,
Yeah,
and they
And they
put
had
him on
to-
probation.
Yep.
There,
Yep.
yeah,
But that's not even a value on that. That's just a.
they claimed it was a $232 value.
Tarkanian
How,
had a
I want
great
to know
book
how they
on it.
crunch those numbers. How did you get to that?
Gas
I
by
think-
gas prices and mileage.
What
Josh.
did
That's
they get in
exactly
a
what they
taxi
do.
and say we need you to take us exactly this amount of time?
It was 1990 at the time, so there was no Uber.
Uber or
So they
anything.
probably said a taxi would have cost this. That's an
That's
impermissible benefit.
ridiculous.
Well, yeah. Well, they were up their ass because
Prime rate.
because Len Bias died of a cocaine overdose, kind of like on heightened alert, you know.
But the NCAA was also trying to be it's especially penal back in the 90s. Remember Tarkanian would go through it all the time with the
Yeah.
NCAA. And Tark has a great book. Before he died, he wrote this book about all the things he would do and like try and
Mhm.
fight the NCAA. And they would get him in trouble. If they would snoop around at his own president.
But Tark was battling with some other people too, wasn't he?
His own president, I think, was like spying on him. And Tark
wasn't just the NCAA.
Tark was also cheating.
Tark was doing it too, but he said
that's besides the point.
His point. You're right, and he was, and his point was always in the was like the things I would do to help kids, like this shouldn't be cheating and this and that. And
two great quotes about cheating, Butchie. One was, I think Bobby Knight once said that the NCAA is so mad at Kentucky they're going to put Vanderbilt on 4 more years of probation. That was one of the quotes, and then another one. Tark used to talk about getting vanned on recruits. What do you mean he got vanned? Well, I offered the kid a car. They offered him a van. I got vanned.
Now this is before LOIs, letter of intent. So right? You couldn't, you weren't signing with the school, so they weren't officially with your school until the first day of classes. They were enrolled. Yeah. So you could announce that you had them. You could put them in the paper, but other coaches could still circle like sharks. So you would hide all the recruits in a mountain cabin so none of the coaches could find them in the summer for training camp.
Not only would you hide them, but you'd lie about them. When Dikembe Mutombo was being recruited by Thompson at Georgetown, he was supposedly a 6'3" guard. They lied about who he was. Then he arrives on campus.
Right.
He's a little bit. He had a growth spurt. Well, prove to me, Zabe, he didn't have a growth spurt. How do you know?
Right.
When they recruited him at 16.
It's just like the lady that wiped the mark off on the tennis court.
Right, exactly. Armin, can you give me a little quick shot on that? Because I was so happy I showed that to you yesterday.
What's that? The tennis
thing from Hungary.
So it's some Hungarian Open, right? It's a professional women's tennis event, Hungarian Open. They're playing on clay, and the one player is disputing the ball being
Chinese
in or
player,
out. Chinese player Zhang, right?
Hits a ball. It's called out. She said, or no, it's called in, right? And she said, "Look at the mark. It's out."
Right.
And this woman from Hungary, hometown girl, goes and steps
messes
on
up it.
She just wipes it off like.
And it's one of the most egregious sportsmanship violations ever. You won't ever do that.
And then they booed the Chinese player.
They were in Hungary.
She had a panic attack, and then she quit.
She withdrew from the match. And then when she withdrew, the other player put their hands in the air. And
Yes. Okay. And then after the match, the Hungarian player said, "I don't know why she was complaining. She brought the trouble on herself."
Yeah, just terrible.
Incredible.
And people
now, I got
like
a big question about sports etiquette. Since
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I need to ask you guys this question right here. U10 girls soccer last game of the season.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
ETS red team was a whopping 1-10 going into the game. We found ourselves in the game in the second half, a 2-2 tie. We're battling. We're grinding, right?
This is your daughter's team. That's 1-10.
Yes.
Coached by you.
Yes.
So you guys enter like what, plus 600 probably.
Yeah.
No,
So
plus
the
1250.
The team we're playing beat us 4-0 the first game. We're tied 2-2 in the second half, and I need to sub my girls. The lineup out there is just dog tired, and they are dog tired. Now, every game this year, there's been different substituting kind of protocols, but last night, the ref was a stickler for you can only substitute if it's your team's dead ball or after a goal. Well, my team can't even run at this point in time. They are just walking around the field because they're so dead tired. They've been in too long. I need to sub.
So they can't even get a dead ball.
So we finally got a dead ball corner kick. And she goes, the ref says, it's only on dead balls, non-corner kicks.
Well, now she's making stuff up.
So I told my girls, I told every single girl, I said, take a knee. They all took a knee. I said, they all have cramps. They need to come out.
They protested.
We walked them out.
Wow.
We forced a substitution, right?
Wow.
We're wrong.
You had to walk
right
out.
You pulled a Kaepernick. Congratulations.
Is that right or wrong?
Well, it's a labor.
Because the other rule in this league is if you ever get hurt, you can take a knee and you get an automatic sub.
I'll allow it.
I don't like that.
I'm going to allow it too because the ref changed the rules.
Yeah, the refs
You
making
can't
things up.
say a rule and then be like, well, what I meant was this. No.
She also told me very early in the game last night, let me make the calls.
Oh.
Oh, let me.
She blew the whistle. It was an obvious handball, so I told my girl where to put the ball and how to kick it. She said, let me make the calls.
Interesting.
I remember
last night.
Coach told me once, you got to learn to play when you're tired.
Hey, you're right, Armin. Hey,
now these are kids, so I don't want to.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, learn to play when they passed tired, and they were now in the form of Walking Dead, is what they were.
So did you guys get a tie in the end, or what was the final?
Yeah, we finished with a tie. So
Pretty
we finished
good.
1-10-1. So Lily's team tonight has to get the the total record for our two girls teams over 500 because they are 10-1, so they need a win so we don't go 500.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right, Kuhn, one last thing. So you were correct in saying that the Anthony Barr hit, I don't want to say ruined football, but made it a lot worse. Last year, how many starting quarterbacks were used league-wide? 32 teams. How many different quarterbacks started a game last year?
I'm going to say 58.
All right, around the horn. Want to guess?
I'll say it's less. I'll say it's something like 48.
Butchie?
Yeah, I'm gonna go now. I mean, you got to consider Jordan Love in those situations because he did it once. Like, let's go above that. I'm gonna go 62.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 49.
64.
It's crazy.
64, a new record.
Yeah.
So in other words, Kuhn, despite all the Kings' efforts to make the game safer for the precious quarterbacks, narrator, they've failed in this attempt.
Now tell me how many of those quarterbacks were starting because of injury or because of subpar play.
Yeah,
Then we can talk about that.
that's a fair point. But still, the more they try to protect these guys, it just doesn't work.
I mean, the Jets had 4 different starting quarterbacks last year. How
Yeah,
many
it's
injuries
true.
did they have?
Maybe some of them running backs should
And
be
none
trying
because
to play
injury.
quarterback.
Butchie's mad that the Packers weren't in on what's his name from the Jets? Mims. I'm like, he probably stinks. Relax.
But it's a good burger place
Are
in Manassas. told me, so
Are you
I'll say
gonna
it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna riff on that, Kuhn, today?
No.
Because it's a non-important transaction. In your
Got to
mind.
focus on the young guys that are in the
Thank
green
you.
and
Thank you. Okay. All right, Butchie, looks like you're alone on Revis Island on that one.
And I can be. That's fine. I'm going to be alone a lot on Packer takes. They're correct takes, but I'll be alone with them. That's fine.
Okay,
Name
well,
name it. You're happy with the wide receiver group the way it is right
that's
now?
not- we
Zane?
don't have time to start. Music's
Thank
playing.
you.
We're
Thank
done.
you. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Boys, tag you're it. 9 to noon is next. Josh, great job as always. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.